Hey guys, so I realized that the last video that I made, you really can't see very much from the angle that I recorded at. Not my fault. Obviously, I wasn't paying attention. I was focusing on getting the product up to you. But today I had a special, or not today, but I did have a special request and I decided to do it tonight. But a smoky eye. It's gold and black with some of the smudging underneath. I have natural bags underneath my eyes. I've had them for a very, very long time. But we're going to try and work this out. I've already put on my foundation. Didn't go full on. I did like a CC cream that I absolutely hate. But it was just easier than have to take off my full performance makeup, which I don't like to waste. But yeah. So we're going to be working a couple of colors. So going back in, I'm going to go ahead and start highlighting underneath my eyebrow. And I'm going to be using the Nicole Miller New York Cosmic Eyeshadow Palette, which is called Starlight Star Bright. Has a lot of gray bronzy neutrals. And because this particular eyeshadow is more of a gold dark tone, I wanted to do a more natural shade underneath the eyebrow. So I'm going to be using a typical eyebrow brush. I'm going to go with, it doesn't have a name, so this beautiful color right here. With that one, which is a little bit more of my tone, but it has some shimmer in it. I love to do the shimmer. Sorry guys, I don't like to be a basic matte bitch all the time. Which one did I do? I'm assuming it's that one. I'll find out. Can't remember if it was. But there you go. I know this is a little bit bright, so you really can't see exactly what I'm doing, but I'm just going through, and this is how I do mine. Not a lot of people do it, but I like to blend in, and because I'll be applying color from here on in, you won't be able to see much of the color that I have here. I don't know if that makes a difference. See, my lighting in here really sucks. This is why I use this thing right here. But we're gonna keep this little sucker out. Now that that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and start doing the shade. They use black. I'm not a big fan of using black because when I've tried it in the past, I look like I have a black eye. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not exactly a fan of this with my other ones. So I'm using this Ulta palette because I want to use on a good makeup. And I'll be using a straight matte black. I'm using my trusty huge foundation brush because I'm trying to make sure that I don't waste too much of your guys' time. So of course, coming in through here, right at the brow bone, because my brow bone is right here, because just how it works with my face, and bringing it in, not too dramatic like the other one, but just, I mean, we can't exactly be subtle here, can we? We're just making sure that we do get some in there. What do you think? It was kind of funny, huh? And try not to make too much of a mess, but going the same method that I did before, going from here on in. And it's okay if it gets down here because this shadow tends to go underneath the eye. So I'm just fixing it up. I don't want to go exactly too dark or too far out because I actually want to do a little bit more of a subtle eyeliner, only because since this shade is dark, you really can't see much. Okay, so I'm going to keep this the way that it's angled, only because I will be going in with a lighter tone, kind of like a chocolate. But so far, so good. I'm going to try and mock this on this side. Wish me luck. Because sometimes the angles that we get aren't exactly, oh, not too bad. aren't exactly perfect, and usually that's one thing I don't like doing with dark shadows like this, is that if you mess up, it's a little bit harder to clean. Oh my god, I gotta do this when I've been drinking more often. This is the first time I've done something that looks more or less almost entirely identical. Sad to say. It's been a tough day for me. How about you guys? Of course, I got it on my face. Don't drink and makeup, people. Yeah, not too much of a... The alcohol does mess with it. And I messed it up because I'm an idiot. Excuse me. Okay, going up. Just dab a little bit there. I won't look too much like a raccoon. You can see that, can you? There. Just blend it. Be careful, guys. Don't be like me. I'm a hot mess sometimes. Oh no, I see what I did. No, I blended it in too much, so it's too rounded. But we'll fix it. We will fix it. Okay. And that's, remember guys, if you ever mess up, just remember you gotta say to yourself, I can fix this. And fix it. Okay, so it went a little bit crazier than what I anticipated, but I was keeping a paper or a towel that I'm eventually gonna wash. Usually wash it at the end of the night because I tend to do this and I lean over a lot. Okay, so now that that's done, we're gonna get a napkin or tissue, and usually that's when I start to clean this off, cleaning off the excess, so I can go in with a different color. The color here looks kind of like a brown. Her lid isn't as her eyebrow to lid ratio is actually a lot shorter. Mine's a lot higher, which I know we all have different eyebrows and lid ratios. But if you have one similar to mine, you would follow my steps, right? Send that up just a tad. Okay, so it's just as rounded. I'm gonna go with. I was gonna go with this darker chocolate brown. I'm gonna go with like this more mocha-y one. It has a little bit more of a color only because of the bronzy effect. Does not look brownish. It actually looks kind of purple. But we're gonna go ahead and go above that and do a sweeping blend motion so it lightens it up just a bit. Now what I'm trying to do is actually blend it out a little bit more. It's not working the way that I would like it to, but I can fix it. And we still have to blend in the gold on top, which will be a pat, but we're just trying to make sure we get that smoky effect. So I blend that out as best as possible. I was actually more worried about this because of my fine lines, and I don't want it to look too accentuate my creases, but someone said this would look amazing and thought I would do a great job. My Cocoa Goddess, and let's see what she thinks. When I'm done, she'll probably be like, ooh, should not giving you that job. Okay, so far this is the outcome. It actually doesn't look too bad if I didn't mind looking like a hot mess. This does look like a skeleton. don't know. Let's add some shimmer to fix this mess. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is, this is a Cosmic Collision by Wet n Wild. I don't remember who gifted this to me. I think it was my comadre. But I'm going to use the brush I use for underneath my brows. And I'm going to apply, what is this one? I do. Okay, so I'm going with this gold color right here. I don't know if you can tell. It's a pretty gold. I'm using my iPad, not my iPhone, because my phone is dying. But my iPhone is the one that has like the best camera because it's one of the newer ones. But here we're gonna start from the inside, and we're just gonna pat on top. And from what I see, it just goes to the crease line. It doesn't go any higher. Ooh, does not look bad. I'm gonna add different shades of gold, so it just accentuates, and we'll see how good I can do this actually. Because I don't want to overcome. See, I went too high. I shouldn't have done that. Oh well. But here, I think because if you notice her eyes to mine, there is a significant difference. But hers, she does it all the way up to here. And notice how awful that looks on me, but I'll go ahead and fix it. But we just want to get at least the gold tone on here, and then we'll fix the other part that I messed up. Because, hey, are you kidding me? Alright, well, so you can get when you're drinking makeup. Just shouldn't. I'm trying not to get too much of the glare of this light. This light is amazing because the light in my bathroom is awful. Great for like taking pictures that you don't want to highlight all your imperfections, but awful when making imperfections. Excuse me, I made dinner for myself and I put a whole bunch of pepper. And now I'm regretting it. Okay, so I got some more black. I'm trying to fix the hot mess that I made. I'm just trying to bring it in. I'm trying to cover as much as the gold that I put here. Not too bad, but now I gotta try and do it on this side. Oh, but now I gotta do it on this side. Great. Okay, so I pretend that this was intentional. And I'm gonna fix it. Okay. Into the crease. Go into the crease. I'm trying to keep this video short. The last one that I did was close to an hour. It took nearly 24 hours to load. I'm trying to waste your good this time. We ain't got time for all that stuff. Not even. Oh, we can fix it. Okay. So, I want it to be brighter. I like this gold. It actually does not look bad, but I want it to pop more. So, go back with our tissue. Clean up any excess. As much excess as possible, because we're going with a little bit more lighter golds. So I'm going to use my Solar Flare by BH Cosmetics. A lot of golden hues, a lot of reddish, brownish. I love BH Cosmetics. Their shimmer palettes, these are amazing. I'll pull this one out for later. I'm going in with the Solar Flare, and I'm gonna do Pulsar. course, let me see if you can see this a little bit better. Pulsar is amazing. I wish you could really see these colors. These other palettes are very shimmery. I'm a big sucker for shimmer, obviously, and they look so amazing, and they're like hyper pigmented. Oh, look at that! I feel like it made it pop so much more. I wish you could understand, but my camera is not that great. I wish I was using my phone camera. So I'm trying to get it to pop a little bit more. I'm gonna do this diagonal thing right here. I'm trying to make sure that I'm meeting the crease of the dark. And so it doesn't look too uneven. I can't exactly blend it out, but I don't know if you can tell that pop really made a difference. But it's not as light as what is here. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of this. And we'll start working on the bottom a little bit. And then I'm going to go with Beam. Beam is like the ultralight color on this packet. But it is so pretty. I love using Beam. Beam is actually one of the ones that I love to use. So I'll just dab it on top to give it more of that lighter color. You can't see it in the camera as much, but it's just to give it like a subtle transition. If you were seeing me in person, you can tell, and I wish you could. But I'm trying to get my duct, so I'm trying to make sure that I get it in. I want to do a little bit more of an Egyptian look, bringing a little bit pointier in the middle, but keeping it pretty thin and angled on the liner. Also doing a very big close-up because I promised someone an eyeliner tutorial, and I feel like I did not do them justice, and I will. You know who you are. I'm doing this for you. So, I don't know. What do you think? Let me open this picture. I feel like once, oh, I see. So the dark actually comes a little bit further in. I don't want to though. Maybe I will, just a little bit. Instead of going with the dark brush, I'm going to stick with this one. To see if maybe, oof, I'm scared. Oh, it wasn't actually bad. That's not bad. Okay. So just bring it a little bit on the outside. What do you think? Actually, a little bit lower, so it made kind of like a faux crease. No, that didn't work. Oh well. Actually, doesn't look bad. I'll take pictures and this is the final product. I just wish I was using a better camera. Oh well. And then, if it seems too dark for you, you can always go in. We'll go back with the photos, or we'll go back with Pulsar, and we'll do a pat on top. Oh, actually, I do have another gold color that I wanted to put on, and it's actually more glittery. So you'll see it in a minute, but that's it. I'm gonna go in with, and I know I said that I really don't use all sorts of brushes, really don't. But what I like to always keep on hand is an angled brush, because an angled brush you actually get to go underneath your lid line. Bring it close, as close as you can, to create that color underneath. You can blend it up. It gives you a little bit more of an angle, right? And see, I get little wrinkles right here. That's the one thing that I worry about when it comes to going underneath the eye, which I try to avoid at all costs. So what I'm doing is I'm actually trying to do like an eyeliner effect because I'm trying to avoid getting the makeup in my bags because it's noticeable when you do. See? I would have preferred to go with gold to highlight my eye more because I do have a darker color. If my eyes were a lighter color, green, gray, blue, hazel, I think that a darker color would actually make it pop. I don't think they pop whenever you have a darker color eye. However, if you do more of a lighter like gold, it tends to make your eyes pop a little bit more. People think, oh, if you use the same color shadow as your eye, that pops. It does not. Let me tell you, if you have blue eyes and use blue shadow, it doesn't make your eyes pop. It drowns out your eye color. Trust us, we're the ones that look at your eyes. Lighter colors make darker eyes pop. And I'm realizing this did not come out at an angle. Did the opposite one. But let's remove that. Okay. Clean it up just a tap. Finger, you should never use your fingers, but there we go. I honestly feel like Captain Jack Sparrow. I don't like him. I don't think he's sexy, so I feel hideous. Don't put yourself down. It's not okay, kids. So now that that's done, I don't want my eyes to, or at least my waterline to stand out. So I haven't used this before. I'm gonna be using the Wet n Wild black color liner pencil, and I'm actually going to line my tear duct to try to create more of that effect of. And I do go into my ductile line. The only thing is that if you actually have really watery eyes, sorry for the noise of this, it won't, it will smear. The one brand that I used to love to use, and I would always use it for my lower lid, and I would just use mascara, was Ben Nye, because it's like a grease pencil, and they specialize in theatrical makeup, so that's what I would use to line my bottom line, and I could actually rely on it to stay and not smudge because that's what it was for whenever you would sweat on stage. It was an amazing liner. So just going in, jerking it up as much as possible. If you have a smudge stick, I have one. I've never been good at using it, but it creates that smudge look that's in the image that we have right here. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and do my liner on top. So again, I'm going to be using the same method I used before. I'm hoping you can see it better this time. Using the NYX Epic Ink Liner Waterproof Black. Whoa, never happened before. It's my first time. So lean your head back as much as you can. Can you see? Okay. So you're gonna go in as close as you can to your lash line. Try not to blink. If you need to blink, blink. Don't blink hard. Blink gently. And trace your lid along the lash line as close as you can. And if you feel like it's the shadow, because I do my shadow instead of my liner first, if the shadow is reflecting too much through the liner, you can always pat on top of it to get a little bit excess of the liquid out to cover that up. That's just the way that I do it. I'm not a professional, folks, but I have no complaints about my eyeliner. I've only ever gotten compliments. I'll just go with the follow through. I'm not going to bring out my proof one because I want to make it actually settle. I'm going to go ahead and just follow it. So see, I stopped here. I didn't go all the way through, so I stopped at a typical stop line. But I wanted it to be like a retro angled. So what I will do is I'll find my point, start there very gently, okay? So even though I have this here, you can always get a napkin and put it here for your makeup is done. But find your point. I want to start from the end here and gently bring it straight down. Like that. And now, like in school, you're going to connect the dots. Okay, okay. And color it in. Now you see there's this right here. So what you're going to do is you're just going to follow through, up until the line is straight as possible. And that, folks, is how I do it. Unfortunately, I broke my rule from the first video. I did my right instead of my left first, and I always go off of my left. Let's try this. So, come in as much as you can on the inside, as close as you can to the lash line. Unfortunately, what winds up happening, because this is more laid down because of an ankle, this will come out a little bit thicker. You can try to match it to this. Good luck. It's not that easy. Sometimes I wind up looking like Amy Winehouse and I gotta roll with it. But, of course, just get it as close to your lash line as possible. See, this is why you do your left first. Unless you're left-handed. Then you do the opposite. Always do the opposite first. But it's okay. I can fix it. So, now we got there. I'm going to follow through from where my point is right here. Straight down. Always be gentle, because sometimes you'll smoosh it and it won't be pointy, and then you're just gonna have to keep going and going and going, and then your whole face is just gonna look like a raccoon. And I hate raccoons. Oh, see, I messed up. It happens, but this is why you should always do your opposite eye first, because then this one came out perfect, this one's not the same, and you don't want one to get a complex over the other because you like one better. But folks, we can fix it. We'll just be a little bit more dramatic than we had hoped, and that's okay. Okay. Well, folks, I guess I'm going to be summoning my inner Cleopatra. I totally messed this up. There's no fixing this. There really is not. However, follow what I did with this one, but remember, do your opposite eye first. I actually don't mind that I made a mistake. I am not perfect. I am totally human. And you know what? In all truth, who hasn't done this? Who hasn't messed one up? It's only evidence that it does happen, and we tend to want to quit whenever this happens, right? There's no fixing this. I have to take everything off. Or, yeah, no, I have to take everything off. But this one looks amazing, doesn't it? I think I did pretty good. What I would like to do, though, is actually go in with it and add a little bit more of dark underneath to give it more of that shadow effect like it's in the image. So I'm getting more. Ooh, I got too much. Oh well. Oh, I like this color a lot more. Look at how nice that looks. Ooh, love it. So just follow along, darken it a little bit more. Give that dramatic effect. Oh, if I could just stay like this the entire time, oh, I'd be so about it. Look at that. Ooh. Okay, so I didn't go back to the Ulta shadow. I went to the Wet n Wild one. It's very pigmented. I like this a lot. So then, oh, sorry guys, allergies. Anyway, so that's done. So we all agree my right side is perfect. So the last thing I want to do is I have this little thing of body glitter, and it's in gold. This is like super shimmery, and I don't care where it falls. I use it when I perform, but I like slather it everywhere. I love this thing. So I'm using a little brush, because trust me, it is like super glittery. I only use like a very little bit at a time. But what I wanted to do is just add it to give it more of that gold effect. Like, I try not to use too much of it because it is so shimmery. And typically I don't care if it falls on my anywhere on my lashes, and usually I would have already done my mascara by then, or like I'll flick it on myself so it's all over the place and I have like this little like beautiful goddess glow. I love this body glitter. And amazingly, it is I'll go like this. I'll rub it into my face, like I'll pat it on, and on my chest and everything, and I'll just be like, But yeah, there you have it. I'm gonna do my eyebrow, and there's gonna be a lot of makeup to take off, but there you go. I'll take pictures on my one side, because that was lame. But there you go. Typically, if something like this, I would pair with like more of a nude color. Or even if you have a gold shimmer or a very like lovely gold bronze lipstick, that would look amazing. And then I would probably do I would love to do like a highlight. And the highlight that I would do is the Anastasia Glow Kit. This is from my friend Belle. And I would probably go with a Golden Dawn. Shout out to Dawn. Or a Hot Sand, depending if it's more of a nighttime, daytime look. For more of a daytime, I would have done Hot Sand. If it was more nighttime, the Golden Dawn to catch more of light going out. But yeah. So there you go. Sorry I messed up on my eyeliners, but hopefully this was a better angle for you guys than it was. Please let me know. And if you want any more makeup tutorials, I'll just do plain shadows, or a better eyeliner one. Let me know. Thanks guys. Hope you enjoyed. Don't mind my craziness. Don't drink in makeup.